At a recent fundraising breakfast, sponsors, friends, and supporters joined Life Circle Alliances in honoring local community caregivers.
Life Circle Alliances is a nonprofit organization here in Fairfax County, Virginia. We are about independence for life for older adults and adults with disabilities. We seek creative connections in the community for long-term care. And our goal is to be the fundraising arm of the Long-Term Care Coordinating Council. Our charge is to raise the money and to bring in the partners to make the strategic plan become a reality here in Fairfax.
There are currently 60,000 Fairfax County residents over 70, and a third of those are over 80. And between the years of 2005 and 2020, the number of Fairfax County residents over 70 will rise 58%, and the population of residents over 50 will grow by 25%. And if you compare that to the population of residents under 50, that will rise by only 18% in the same time. So we really are seeing a bubble of older age in our community. And of course, it's not just the numbers, it's not just the number of seniors that presents a challenge. It's the specific concerns of our older adults that will need our attention. Nationwide, over 25% of people over the age of 65 have at least one disability. And I always like to point out that if we live long enough, all of us are going to need some kind of accommodation. The MetLife Foundation projects that the population of people over 65, those in need of long-term care, will in 20 years double to 72 million, more than 20% of the entire US population.
Our work within the community is really centered upon the 4 committees of the Long-Term Care Coordinating Councils. So our work is centered on A, workforce issues, B, access to resources and information that will help people stay independent in the community. C, we also work with senior services, and these would be people like Graceful Care, which is a private provider of services, but also our adult day health care centers. We also work with mental health issues and providers in the community for seniors. And in the area of young adults, we are especially proud to have been one of the seed grants to help Spark, which is a specially assisted resource center in Reston that helps young adults and is a club for them. And if you look at our video online, we actually filmed at Spark that day, so it's a wonderful program and we're very proud of that partnership too. We're especially proud this year that we've now had our premier event, our Kudos for Community Caregivers. This was our attempt to recognize that a third of us in the community are now caregiving for someone that we love. Generally, the job is 20 hours a week. It's mostly a job that women are doing, and the statistics show that in the very near future, 1 in 5 of us will need assistance. And included in this group that's of interest to us are our wounded warriors, as 360,000 of them are returning to our community. So at the Kudos for Community Caregivers, we actually honored 4 people who were nominated by our community for their volunteer caregiving. And this was Mr. Dwight Barnes, who cares for his wife Ann. He's from Alexandria. The Ramon Planis family, who actually works with the Lewinsville Adult Day Health Care Center. Joan Frankhauser, who cares for her husband and works with Brain Injury Services. And our last recipient this year was Dr. Joseph and his wife Linda Marshall, who work with the Chesterbrook Residences and are very active, hands-on, everyday volunteers, a tremendous gift to our community. Our gathering was a wonderful way for us to say thank you to all of those people who do provide caregiving. But in a way, it was an opportunity for us to also remember those of our older adults and adults with disabilities who aren't able to participate on a daily basis in our community. And that's our charge. It's to get people together so that we can make the community such that they can participate fully, because we need their talents, we need their life journeys. They're very much part of our life circle here in Fairfax.
You know, we believe in investing in people at every stage of our lives. People are our best resource, and investing in people is the best investment we can make so that people can live productive lives and can contribute to this community. And that's been a hallmark of what's distinguished Fairfax County. We're practical about it because we think, well, you know, wasting somebody's talent and energy makes no sense in terms of this thriving place. And that's what has made Fairfax such a wonderful community in which to live. You know, when I first moved here over 30 years ago, the percentage of our population that was 65 or older was very small. We were a very young community, and the median age was in the 20s. The median age today is in the 30s, and there are a lot more of these people. All right, I turned 60, me too, who you know, are leading incredibly productive lives, and we want to tap into that talent, and we want to extend that as much as possible. We also believe that the fact that somebody may have a disability ought not to disable them from contributing to this community as well. And we've created mechanisms and programs, and we've partnered with organizations such as this one in a very creative model that I think has made a real difference in the quality of people's lives and in extending the ability for people to be autonomous and to contribute. And that's really what we're celebrating today. And that's a Fairfax value, and it's one I wish other communities would emulate, and it's one certainly I took to the Hill.
Life Circle Alliances works in partnership with about 45 different agencies here in Fairfax County that deal with services to older adults and adults with disabilities. Our role is to be the fundraising arm for them. We do that through a number of different initiatives. One is the Verdi Haywood Matching Grant Funds that we started this year. Verdi retired as the head of Human Services in Fairfax County and kindly asked that donations be made in his name to Life Circle. We have now done our first round of Verdi Haywood Incentive Fund grants. These are matching grants that we solicit proposals from the community to put seeds in the ground for new and innovative programs. And we're so delighted to say that one of the grants that we've just funded will fund the first program for young adults with autism spectrum disorder so that they will have a social activity to go to during the day. Another part of that went to the Alzheimer's Adult Day Center, and that will provide therapeutic exercise program. And the third fundee will be to the Multicultural Caregivers Association that trains personal care assistants, and we've funded a few of those scholarships. This is a wonderful program that trains folks. It's a part of our workforce issue. And the fact is that we won't have enough people that are trained to be active in our homes to care for our relatives and our loved ones. This funds that. So this program actually started last year. There were 27 enrollees, 22 finished the training, and the day they graduated, 22 had jobs. So we're delighted to partner with them to continue to provide these kinds of folks to our community.
I was completely unprepared at age 46 or whatever I was at the time to be my husband's caregiver. I had imagined that when we were older, I had imagined that something would perhaps happen to one of us, and I imagined it would probably be me. But being the mother of 4 children at home and having a husband who was completely self-sufficient and had covered wars and been in war zones for the last 10 years for ABC News. Of course, I'd thought about something happening, but we don't wake up every single day and imagine that our husband will slip off the ladder while he's putting a wreath on, or that a wife will step off the curb and a bus will hit her. And that's not how we all are programmed to live life. And so when it happens to you, there's a moment, there are many moments, where you're absorbing the shock and the grief, the anger. I look at what happened to us, and you can read about our story. I'm not going to take up my time talking about the details of our story today, because I want to connect with you about what you do. But there's that process of the grief. There's first shock, and then I think that is it anger? Or shock, denial, anger, and acceptance. I went through anger this summer, I decided. the minute that this happened, I just kept moving. I had a husband in a coma for 36 days in Bethesda Naval. We too had the Acinetobacter, the bacteria that lives in the soil in Iraq, which is so virulent that in fact they've had to pull out antibiotics from World War II to help these young men overcome that in the hospitals. We had a year of rehab. I had a husband who was injured on the left temporal lobe in his speech and language area of his brain. And so if you're the anchor of World News Tonight, that's probably not a good thing. We have many, many funny stories. Some of them made their way into the book. My favorite story of Bob mixing up his words, and at the time my twins were in kindergarten, so we all became part of his circle of care, which is why this is such a brilliant name for your organization, Life Circle Alliances. We became a circle, family and friends and loved ones that were allowed into our small circle at the time to help bring Bob back.
Now there's a number of ways that you can get involved with Life Circle Alliances, and we certainly hope that you will choose to do that. The first is the Verde Haywood Matching Fund grants. Actually, we ask organizations, businesses to fund a round of grants, and we're very delighted to announce that Integrity One Partners in Reston, Mr. Mike Waddell, has already stepped up and will be funding round 2 of the Verde Haywood grants this fall. And we thank him so much for that gift, because that will mean that, again, we'll put 2 to 3 projects to work in our community, creative ideas that we can test out. That's one way to help. Another way that you can help is our new website. In January 2011, we'll have Giving Circle projects up on the website that actually are projects that have been vetted through the Long-Term Care Coordinating Council. These are projects where you can give directly to a project of your choice, whether your area of interest is senior services, young adults, access and technology, or perhaps you would like to give in the area of workforce issues, because that's certainly an area where many, many businesses are realizing there's a compelling need to address that. As we know, that for every employee, $2,000 worth of work time is lost each year if that employee is involved in caregiving, and 1/3 of us are. If the employee is caring for somebody who's far away, it's $5,500 out of pocket each year that that person is contributing to care for someone else. So there are tremendous economic issues and workforce issues that are involved in this too. Another way you can help is join the Life Circle Allies, and this is a membership program that we offer, and it's $20.10 to join as an individual. It's $2,001 if you're a corporation. We ask that you join annually and enjoy our website. Look for the latest information that we do post there on breaking issues in aging and issues for adults with disabilities. So we do hope you'll take us up on that, and we do hope you'll consider coming out to the Kudos Breakfast next year too, perhaps as a sponsor, and certainly come and buy a seat and enjoy the fun too. And our website to be in contact with us is www.lifecirclealliances.org.